One thing that we came out last week is Ant-Man, and Callum got in touch to say that he thought it was immense and phenomenal.
Phenomenon.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenon.
Oh, yeah, phenomenal.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously we all appreciate you getting your opinions and want as many as possible.
And if you do want to do that, you can do that.
Because you're probably bored of us just shouting down the mic all the time.
Yeah.
Because we are very shouty.
Yeah. Well, you're very shouty.
Yeah. Hey.
You are.
You're loud, man.
I'm loud. Do you want to fight? Do you want to fight? Liam, we're going to have to separate us.
But, am I finally doing my job?
Yeah,
right.
ruptions.
You, stop.
Oh, God.
There you go.
You're the worst teacher. Yeah, so
it was him, man.
Hashtag Spark Film Show if you want to get involved.
Yeah, get in touch.
And
more opinions the better. So
yes.
yeah, Ant-Man is the new film in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Obviously, they're the complete juggernaut now. They're not going to be stopped by anything. They've got plans until 2028 or something ridiculous like that. So they're going to constantly be making new movies every now and then until the superhero bubble bursts and they fall on their asses. But still haven't made $55 trillion or something stupid like that. But yeah, so obviously in this film we've got a ex-con called Scott Lang, played by Paul Rudd, obviously massive comic star. I love that he did the Mac and Me clip again. Jesus, he's the best. Like, if you don't know that, type in Paul Rudd Mac and Me and you'll know. So obviously he's an ex-con and he's recruited by Michael Douglas as Hank Pym, he was the original sort of user of the Ant-Man suit, which is the suit which allows the user to shrink in size and have incredible strength while they shrunk. So he's recruited him because he sees something in him and he needs him to pull off one last heist to prevent Corey Stoll's Darren Cross from taking over the world or something like that with his yellow jacket suit, which is basically a rip-off with the Ant-Man suit with more lasers. Obviously there was many different many distractions for the film when it was being hyped up. Obviously Edgar Wright left, original director, and Peyton Reed was brought in, director of Yes Man most famously, and obviously that was put a downer on it. Joss Whedon came out in support of Edgar Wright and people were like, how is that going to go? Is this the start of Marvel's downfall and the big cinema releases? But no, I mean, Man, it's really, really fun. I mean, obviously there is a lot of flaws. The villain doesn't seem very developed at all. There's a lot of cliches in it, and obviously there's some really moments, and it gets slow to start with as well, but in the end it is a really good film. It's really visually striking. I like that. It tries something different with its style as well. I like how they're going for these different sub-genres as well, and they're not just going for out-and-out superhero films. There's lots of heist. Even in the score, I like the score as well. It's really really evocative of sort of the early heist films as well. I really like that in them. But it's just good to see them try something different and try to make it fresh. And the scales don't seem as big as, trying to drop massive pieces of earth on the land like they did in Avengers Age of Ultron. It is just a heist movie involving that one little thing, even if it could eventually end up in being like end of the world scenario. But yeah, Paul Rudd's really likeable as Ant-Man. He's really more relatable than some of the other stars. Michael Douglas obviously brings the thunder with his sort of grit and wisdom. I really like what he brings to it. And obviously, I've forgotten her name. Evangeline Lilly, yeah, playing Hope, Hank Pym's daughter, who she's got a really strong role and they really set her up nicely for future films.
I'm hearing more and more whispers that she's going to get a bigger role as it goes on.
Despite Edgar Wright's departure, I think they've done pretty well for themselves here. It's really funny, touching in parts, and it's really, really fun watch. I really recommend. Probably upper middle of the Marvel list in terms of quality in their Marvel Universe films. Solid enough entry.
Joe, not really a Marvel person.
No, not really. I mean, yeah, it's at least it is pretty much just normal Marvel. Here's a new character, we're going to build this guy up. But at least, yeah, fair enough, it did have the good little comedy moments. Some shots were definitely just pure Edgar Wright.
There's somebody called James Corker on Facebook who we know obviously, and we were having a discussion the other day about how sometimes the villains in those films aren't developed at all, and I feel like they spend too much time in the origin stories, and in Phase 3 I know they're not doing an origin for Doctor Strange or Spider-Man, so that'll be, and Black Panther as well, so that's good. Hopefully they'll spend more time building up that villains, because it's a crime pretty much to have wasted people like Kevin Bridges and Christopher Eccleston, Robert Redford in such small roles.
Are we getting into the Spider-Man origin? Are we going to get another? Are we going to have Uncle Ben dying again?
Again.
He dies more times than Bruce Wayne's parents.
Who are they going to get to kill now? Like who are they going to?
Do you remember the Aunt May spin-off movie they were going to do with Sony?
Wow,
that was the rumor.
Jesus,
she was going to be like a FBI agent, like a spy or something. Before,
like in the originals, like Tobey Maguire, they got that old guy. I can't remember his name. Then the Andrew Garfield, they got Martin Sheen.
Yeah,
and who are they going to kill now?
I honestly don't know. Can't imagine.
No, but never mind. But so go and see it. It's a good little watch, nice little summer film. You'll all enjoy it.
Yeah.
Nothing too special, but
I've been thinking this kind of period, we haven't had this before, where it's been a summer period, because normally we tend to agree, but the summer it's like we've got such controversial
opinions.
Because I was disappointed. I mean, looking back, there was bits that I did laugh at, but I also remember the bits where I was just sitting there bored by the lack of stakes or the just sort of how templated it is.
Yeah, I know that's what they do. They seem to lack. They all seem to follow that same basic template. You know, the villain.
There doesn't seem to be any kind of threat.
But for me, the biggest thing was the fact that Scott Lang is a much more likeable character than some of the other sort of all singing, all dancing, buff Marvel stars. I like that. Obviously, Paul Rudd being a comedian, he's clearly been a fan of the role, and he's really enjoying himself there. And I thought the cast was just. It was. I mean, obviously, Michael Douglas has got a lot of good lines, and Michael Penner as well brings. I mean, you can really see all of Edgar Wright's influence on it, like the flashback
bits I was
sequences.
clinging on to. That's the bits I like the most.
I did find out that Michael Penner's there's some really funny bits in the film where Michael Penner sort of explains plans in a way that you wouldn't expect. I won't spoil it. Yeah. But basically, they weren't Edgar Wright's, and I thought that was the number one thing that would have been Edgar Wright's. Yeah. But they were written by Peyton Reed. Not Peyton Reed. By Scott. By Paul Rudd and the other guy who helped rewrite the script. Okay. Surprisingly enough, I would have expected that was definitely Edgar Wright. But yeah, you can definitely see his flourishes, but that doesn't take away from it. He's done a good enough job, Peyton Reed, directing this, and it's a decent enough entry. You know, it's nothing amazing, nothing terrible. It's just, it's good. It's decent enough.
At least they have funny parts, I guess.
Yeah, it's funny enough.
I think I set myself up for a fall by thinking it would be the new Guardians.
I just like how different it was,
Yeah, I think I set myself up for a fall thinking it would be the new Guardians.
When it's a guy that talks to ants, you've got to be ridiculous.
It's probably one of the riskier ones we've done.
Oh yeah,
definitely. So,
I mean, back in 2002, it was a risk whether to not make a Spider-Man film. Not back in 1995 or something like that. We're wondering whether to make the first Spider-Man, and now we've got Ant-Man.
Yeah. Well,
it's had the lowest opening weekend of any Marvel film apart from Incredible.